People with goals succeed because they know where they're going, by Earl Nightingale. Lesson 1. The magic of thinking big. There's something remarkable that happens when a person begins to think beyond their current circumstances. I've observed this phenomenon throughout my life. The size of your success is determined by the size of your belief. This isn't mere philosophy. It's a practical truth that has transformed countless lives. Look around you. The successful people you admire aren't necessarily more intelligent than others. They don't possess magical abilities or extraordinary talents that set them apart. What truly distinguishes them is how they think. They've mastered the art of thinking big. When you plant a seed in fertile soil, that seed grows according to its nature. Your mind works in exactly the same way. What the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. This isn't wishful thinking. It's the foundation of all human achievement. Consider Thomas Edison. Before the light bulb existed, he saw it clearly in his mind. He thought big, believing he could capture light in a glass bulb despite thousands of failures. His thinking created reality. Your thoughts are the architects of your destiny. Small thoughts create small results. Average thoughts create average results. But big thoughts, they create magnificent results that can transform not just your life, but the lives of countless others, Now, I want you to try something that might feel uncomfortable at first. It's called the 6-month vision. Take a sheet of paper and write down exactly where you want to be 6 months from today. Be painfully specific about your work situation, your home life, and your personal growth. What will you have accomplished? How will you feel? Who will be in your life? Once you've written this vision, commit to reading it every morning when you wake up and every night before you sleep. Something almost magical will begin to happen. Your mind, that incredible instrument you possess, will begin working toward this picture without you even knowing it. You see, your mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's vividly imagined. When you consistently feed it the same vision, it accepts this as a command to be fulfilled. People with clear visions and big thoughts notice opportunities others miss. They attract the right circumstances and people. They develop creative solutions to problems that block their path. Remember this: the size of your thinking determines the size of your results. The person who thinks they can and the person who thinks they cannot are both right. Which person will you choose to be? The magic of thinking big isn't really magic at all. It's the natural law of the mind put into deliberate action. Start today. Write your 6-month vision. Read it faithfully. Watch as your thoughts begin to create your new reality. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Your step begins with a thought. Make it a big one. Lesson 2. Strangest Secret. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract success while others struggle their entire lives? I'll tell you the strangest secret in the world. We become what we think about most of the time. This isn't magic or wishful thinking. It's a law of the human mind as reliable as gravity. Just as a farmer plants seeds expecting certain crops, your mind grows whatever thoughts you plant within it. Think about failure, and failure will grow. Think about success, and success will follow just as surely. Your dominant thoughts shape everything about your life. If you spend your days worrying about bills, rehearsing old arguments, or dwelling on past mistakes, your mind has no choice but to create more situations that match those thoughts. Your brain is like a heat-seeking missile, always moving toward whatever target you program into it. Think of your mind as a garden. You are the gardener. Each day, you plant seeds through your thoughts. Plant seeds of doubt, fear, and limitation, and that's exactly what will grow. But plant seeds of possibility, growth, and achievement, and watch how your life transforms. The choice is always yours. Many of us don't realize we're planting negative seeds all day long. We worry about the future, doubt our abilities, and focus on what might go wrong. This is actually negative goal setting. When you worry, you're using the same mental machinery that creates success, but you're pointing it in the wrong direction. Your subconscious mind doesn't judge your thoughts as good or bad. It simply works to create whatever picture you hold most consistently. This is why constantly thinking about what you don't want is so dangerous. Focus on debt, and you'll get more debt. Focus on health, and you'll find ways to become healthier. The good news is you can change your thought patterns starting right now. Begin catching yourself when negative thoughts appear. Don't fight them or feel guilty. Simply replace them with their positive opposite. If you think I'll never get ahead, immediately counter with, I'm learning to create prosperity every day. For the next week, I want you to try a simple experiment. Carry a small notepad with you everywhere. Each time you catch and redirect a negative thought, make a mark. Count how many times each day you take control of your thinking. You'll be amazed at how many negative thoughts were running your life without your awareness. This exercise puts you back in the driver's seat of your mind. Instead of letting random thoughts determine your destiny, you become the deliberate creator of your experience. As you practice, you'll find negative thinking happens less frequently, and positive thoughts become your natural state. Remember, this isn't about pretending problems don't exist. It's about deciding which thoughts deserve your energy and focus. Plant good seeds in your mind garden, tend them carefully, and watch how your outer world begins to reflect your inner landscape of thought. Lesson 3. Goals, your map to success. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to move through life with confidence and purpose, while others drift along, never quite reaching their potential? My friends, the difference is as simple as it is profound. Goals are the maps that guide us through life's journey. Without them, we're like sailors adrift on an endless sea, at the mercy of winds and currents, never reaching any particular shore. But with clearly defined goals, we chart our course with precision and purpose. When you write down a goal, something magical happens. That goal takes on a life of its own. It becomes a powerful magnet, drawing you toward it, even when you aren't consciously thinking about it. Your subconscious mind, that wonderful servant that never sleeps, begins working day and night to bring that goal into reality. Many years ago, I discovered this truth for myself. I wrote down specific goals for my career, my finances, and my personal life. I didn't just think about these goals. I committed them to paper. And do you know what happened? Those goals began to materialize in my life, sometimes in ways I couldn't have possibly imagined. The difference between those who dream and those who achieve is startlingly simple. Dreamers have wishes. Achievers have goals. A wish is a formless thought that may bring momentary pleasure but lacks the power to create real change. A goal, especially one that's clearly written and reviewed regularly, gives your mind precise instructions. Your mind, you see, is like a highly sophisticated computer. But even the most powerful computer needs clear programming to function properly. Goals are the programming that tells your mind exactly what to work toward. When you have clear goals, you begin to notice opportunities that were always there but previously invisible to you. It's as if you've given your mind a new set of instructions. Find ways to achieve this, and your faithful mind follows those instructions perfectly. I've seen this principle transform lives time and again. A young man with a written goal to own his own business notices a small opportunity that others miss. A woman with a goal of learning a new language finds herself drawn to resources and people that help her achieve that aim. This isn't coincidence. It's the power of a mind directed by clear goals. Goals also provide something essential to human happiness: purpose. When we wake up each morning with a clear sense of where we're going, life takes on new meaning and excitement. Each day becomes an adventure in moving closer to what we truly want. So, if you remember nothing else from our time together today, remember this. Goals transform wishful thinking into purposeful action. They are the difference between hoping for a better future and creating one. Write down your goals. Carry them with you. Review them daily and watch as the incredible power of your mind begins to make them reality. Lesson 4. The 1-hour miracle. Have you ever stopped to wonder why some people achieve remarkable success while others with similar talents and opportunities remain stuck in mediocrity? The answer lies not in some mysterious stroke of luck or secret advantage. It lies in how they use their time. Time is the great equalizer. Every human being, regardless of wealth, status, or background, receives exactly the same allotment. 24 hours each day, no more, no less. The difference between the successful and the ordinary is how they invest those precious hours. Consider this remarkable truth. Just 1 hour of focused learning each day adds up to 365 hours per year. That's equivalent to 9 full work weeks of education. In 3 years, you'll have accumulated as much specialized knowledge as a college education provides. Yet, this education is precisely targeted to your goals and dreams. Knowledge, you see, compounds much like money in a bank account. Each new idea connects with existing ones, creating not just addition but multiplication of your mental resources. A single book might contain the exact insight you need to solve a problem that's been holding you back for years. Sadly, the average person squanders this incredible opportunity. They surrender their evenings to television, their mornings to oversleeping, their weekends to meaningless activities that leave nothing of value behind. They watch life passing by, wondering why opportunity never knocks at their door. But you can choose a different path. You can harness the power of the 1 hour miracle. By dedicating just 60 minutes daily to focused learning and improvement, you set in motion forces that will transform your life completely. This single hour should be treated as sacred. Guard it as you would a treasure chest filled with gold, for indeed it's far more valuable. Schedule it at the same time each day, when your mind is sharpest. Perhaps it's early morning before the household wakes, during your lunch break, or in the evening after dinner. During this golden hour, immerse yourself in books, courses, or practices that directly contribute to your goals. If you aim to advance in your career, study the latest developments in your field. If you dream of starting a business, learn about entrepreneurship. If you wish to improve your relationships, study communication and psychology. The amazing power of this practice lies in its consistency. 1 hour might not seem significant, but day after day, week after week, it creates an unstoppable momentum. While others remain static, you progress steadily forward, gaining knowledge and skills that make you increasingly valuable. Remember this truth. Extraordinary achievements don't require extraordinary efforts. They require ordinary efforts applied consistently over time. The 1 hour miracle is within anyone's reach, yet few will grasp it. Those who do will find themselves moving steadily toward their goals, while others wonder at their luck. Your future is determined not by grand, dramatic gestures, but by these small daily choices. Will you invest in yourself today, or will you spend another evening with nothing to show for it? The choice, as always, is yours. Lesson 5. Your attitude is everything. Success begins in the mind, dear friend. I've traveled across this great nation, speaking to thousands of men and women, and one truth remains constant. Your attitude is the foundation upon which all achievement is built. Consider this profound truth. 2 people can experience the exact same situation, yet one finds opportunity while the other sees only disaster. What makes the difference? Nothing but attitude. It's the filter through which you experience life. When you wake up each morning, you make a choice. Yes, it's that simple. You choose whether to greet the day with expectation or dread. You choose whether to see problems as stumbling blocks or stepping stones. This choice. Your attitude will determine how high you'll climb in life. I knew a young salesman once who failed miserably in his first position. His manager let him go after just 3 months. Another company hired him, and within a year he became their top producer. When I asked what changed, he said, "My circumstances didn't change. I did. I decided my attitude would be my greatest asset instead of my biggest excuse." Life will test you. Setbacks will come. The question isn't whether you'll face obstacles, but how you'll respond when they appear. Will you become bitter or better? Will you become bitter or better? Will you blame circumstances or take responsibility? The choice is yours. Remember, problems come bearing gifts. Inside every challenge lies an opportunity for growth. The most successful people I've encountered don't have fewer problems. They simply maintain better attitudes toward their problems. They simply maintain better attitudes toward their problems. Your mind works like a garden. Whatever seeds you plant will grow. Plant seeds of doubt, fear, and negativity, and your life will produce a harvest of missed opportunities and excuses. But plant seeds of expectation, courage, and positivity, and watch how your life blossoms. The world tends to mirror your expectations. Expect good things, and good things find their way to you, not by magic, but because your positive outlook helps you recognize opportunities that pessimists miss entirely. Try this simple practice. Take a short 10-minute walk every day, focusing exclusively on things you're grateful for. Count at least 20 before returning home. This small habit rewires your brain to spot possibilities instead of problems. Your attitude affects not just your mind, but your body too. Studies show that positive thinkers live longer, healthier lives. They recover from illness faster. They build stronger relationships, all from a choice made in the mind. So decide today. What attitude will you choose? Will you rise to meet challenges with enthusiasm? Will you face uncertainty with courage? The attitude you adopt now will determine how far you'll go and how high you'll climb. Remember, friend, your attitude isn't just everything. It's the only thing you completely control, and that makes it your greatest power. Lesson 6. The Law of Service. Have you ever noticed that the most successful people in any field are invariably those who serve others most effectively? This is no coincidence. It is the operating principle behind all meaningful achievement and prosperity. I call it the law of service, and once you understand it, your path to success becomes crystal clear. Your rewards in life are directly proportional to the service you provide to others. It's a simple equation that many overlook in their pursuit of success. They chase money, status, or recognition without realizing these are merely byproducts of something far more fundamental: solving problems for other people. Money is nothing more than a certificate of service rendered. The marketplace pays for value, and it pays handsomely for exceptional value. The size of your paycheck will always reflect the size of the problems you solve, and how many people you solve them for. This is why a physician earns more than a dishwasher, not because one person is more valuable as a human being, but because the problems they solve carry different weights in our society. The surest way to increase your income is to increase your service. Do more than you're paid for, and you'll soon be paid for more. This principle has never failed in the history of commerce. When you consistently deliver more than expected, you create a reputation that becomes invaluable. People notice. Opportunities find you. I've observed that the market rewards problem solvers, not complainers. Anyone can point out what's wrong, but those who offer solutions become indispensable. Look around your workplace or community. Who stands out? Invariably, it's the person who approaches challenges with the question, "How can I help?" rather than, "Why should I bother?" Start keeping what I call an extra mile log. This simple notebook will record every instance where you go beyond what's expected. Did you stay late to help a colleague? Note it down. Did you suggest an improvement to a process? Write it up. Review this log weekly and you'll notice something remarkable happening. Giving extra value changes how people respond to you. This isn't about exhausting yourself or becoming a doormat. It's about developing the habit of looking for opportunities to serve. The most successful people I've ever met have this habit deeply ingrained in their character. They don't give to get. They give because that's who they are. Yet the returns they receive seem almost magical to those who don't understand this principle. Service comes in many forms. A kind word at the right moment can be as valuable as a brilliant business strategy. The custodian who ensures a spotless environment provides a service just as real as the CAO who sets company direction. The question isn't what service you provide, but how fully you commit to providing it exceptionally well. Embrace the law of service, and you'll find yourself moving steadily toward your goals with a sense of purpose and fulfillment that mere strivers never experience. After all, success without service is hollow. But service is hollow, but service inevitably leads to success. Lesson 7. The Power of Your Words. Words are magical tools, Sesh. They shape not only how others see us, but, more importantly, how we see ourselves. The words we speak travel first through our own minds before they reach the ears of others. Think about that for a moment. Every word you utter must first be processed by your own brain, leaving its imprint whether you realize it or not. Throughout my years observing successful men and women, I've noticed they all share a common trait. They guard their words carefully. They understand that language is not just communication, but creation. When you say, "I can't afford that," your mind obediently shuts down all pathways to affording it. Yet when you ask, "How can I afford that?" your magnificent mind immediately begins searching for solutions. Consider the difference between someone who says, "I'll try to finish this project," versus "I will finish this project." In the first statement, failure is already built into the commitment. The word try gives us permission to fall short. Successful people eliminate such escape hatches from their vocabulary. Your brain is listening to every word you say. When you declare, "I'm not good with numbers," or "I always mess up presentations," you're issuing commands to your subconscious mind, and like a faithful servant, it will work tirelessly to prove you right. The good news: this same principle works magnificently in reverse. When you consistently say, "I'm becoming more confident every day," or "I find creative solutions to problems," your mind accepts these statements as instructions and begins making them your reality. Why do you suppose that salespeople who tell themselves, "Today will be my best day," yet consistently outperform those who approach their work with uncertainty? It's not mere positive thinking. It's the practical application of a universal law. Begin noticing the words that fill your daily conversations. Do you speak of what you lack or what you're creating? Do you describe problems or solutions? Do you talk about what you can't do or what you're learning to master? The truly successful person speaks as though they already possess what they seek. They don't say, "I want to be successful," but rather, "I am developing the habits of success daily." This subtle shift makes all the difference. Your assignment is simple but profound. For the next 7 days, catch yourself before speaking negatively. Replace limiting phrases with empowering alternatives. Instead of "This is impossible," try "This is impossible." Try "This is challenging, but I'm finding a way through it." Instead of "I'm so stressed," try "I'm learning to prioritize what matters most." Remember, the words you speak today will shape the life you live tomorrow. Choose them with the care of someone selecting precious seeds for a garden they'll harvest for years to come. Your words truly are the building blocks of your destiny. Lesson 8. The Success Blueprint. The blueprint for success is quite simple. It's been right in front of us all along. When you observe the patterns of those who achieve extraordinary things, you discover they all share one crucial habit. They follow a predetermined plan toward their clearly defined goals. Consider the construction of a magnificent building. No builder would attempt to create such a structure without detailed blueprints. Each nail, beam, and window must be placed according to plan. Your life deserves no less careful planning. Most people drift through life without direction. Like ships without rudders, they're tossed by the winds of circumstance, reacting to whatever comes their way. Is it any wonder they end up far from any worthwhile destination? As I've often said, only about 5% of people achieve uncommon success. What separates them? They have a map for the journey. Your mind is an incredible servant, but a terrible master. Without clear instructions, it wanders aimlessly. But when you give it precise directions through well-defined goals, it works day and night to bring those goals into reality. It's truly remarkable how opportunities suddenly appear when you've programmed your mind to recognize them. Creating your success blueprint starts with asking yourself important questions. What do you truly want? Why do you want it? How will you want it? How will you feel when you achieve it? When will you reach each milestone? Who can help you along the way? These questions activate your mental powers and set you apart from the drifting masses. Your blueprint must be written down. Thoughts that remain only in your head lack power. There's something magical about putting pen to paper that makes your goals real. Post your written plan where you'll see it daily. Review it each morning and evening. Let it become part of your very being. Your blueprint should include daily actions. Small, consistent steps create massive results over time. Think of water dripping on stone. Given enough time, it carves through the hardest rock. Your daily disciplines work the same way, gradually transforming your life as you follow your blueprint. Don't worry about getting your plan perfect. All successful people adjust their blueprints as they move forward. The important thing is to begin with clear direction, then refine as you progress. No sailor reaches a distant port by traveling in a perfectly straight line. They constantly adjust their course while keeping their destination firmly in mind. The wonderful truth is that anyone can create a success blueprint. It requires no special talent, only the willingness to decide what you want and commit to following your plan. In a world of drifters, those with blueprints stand out dramatically. They move with purpose while others wander in circles. Today, create your success blueprint. Make it detailed and compelling. Review it faithfully. Your future self will thank you for this simple yet transformative action. Remember, people with goals succeed because they know where they're going. Lesson 9. The Morning Victory Hour. Have you ever noticed how the most successful people seem to own their mornings? They rise before the sun while the rest of the world sleeps, claiming those quiet hours as their own. My friends, this isn't a coincidence. The morning hours contain a special magic. When you rise early, you aren't just adding extra time to your day. You're claiming the most powerful hours when your mind is fresh and the world hasn't yet begun making demands on your attention. Consider this. The way you begin, your day sets the tone for everything that follows. When you stumble out of bed at the last possible minute, rushing through your morning in a panic, you send a powerful message to your subconscious mind. That message says, "Life is happening to me. I am not in control." But what if you flipped that script? What if you decided that from this day forward, you would rise 1 hour earlier than necessary and dedicate that time to your goals and personal growth? I call this the Morning Victory Hour, and I've seen it transform the lives of countless people who were once struggling but implemented this simple practice. During your Morning Victory Hour, review your written goals. Read them aloud with conviction. Visualize them as already accomplished. Then spend 20 minutes learning something new related to your primary goal. Read a book, listen to educational content, or practice a skill. Next, give yourself 15 minutes of physical movement. It needn't be strenuous. A short walk or gentle stretching will do. This awakens your body and releases positive chemicals in your brain that enhance your thinking. Finally, spend the remaining time planning your day. Not just listing tasks, but prioritizing them according to which activities will move you closest to your goals. Do you see what happens? Before most people have even opened their eyes, you've already accomplished 4 powerful things. You've reinforced your goals, grown your knowledge, energized your body, and mapped your day for maximum effectiveness. A curious thing happens when you practice the Morning Victory Hour consistently. Your confidence grows, your clarity increases. You begin to feel like the captain of your own ship rather than a passenger being tossed about by waves of circumstance. I remember speaking with a struggling salesman who couldn't seem to gain traction in his career. He was talented but scattered, always reacting to the day rather than directing it. When he began implementing the Morning Victory Hour, his sales increased by 37s in just 6 weeks. Not because he worked more hours, but because he worked with greater focus and intention. The early morning holds a special power. It's uncontested time that belongs only to you. While others sleep, you can be growing, planning, and aligning yourself with your goals. Try it for just 30 days. Rise 1 hour earlier and dedicate that time to your goals. I promise you'll never go back to your old ways. The Morning Victory Hour may well become the fulcrum that leverages your entire life toward success. Lesson 10. Building momentum toward your goals. The successful goal. Setter understands a simple truth that eludes so many. Momentum is the great multiplier of human achievement. Friends, I've observed throughout my years that people who consistently reach their goals aren't necessarily working harder than everyone else. They're harnessing the incredible power of momentum. Imagine a locomotive starting its journey. When that massive engine first begins to move, it struggles against inertia. The engineers must apply tremendous power just to get those wheels turning ever so slightly. But something remarkable happens once that train is moving. Each rotation of the wheels becomes easier than the last. Before long, that same locomotive that struggled to move an inch is now thundering down the tracks with unstoppable force. Your goals work the same way. The beginning is always the hardest part. Those first steps require the greatest effort. Most people quit during this critical starting phase, never experiencing the wonderful sensation of momentum that follows persistence. How do you build this momentum? It begins with small victories. Don't wait for the perfect moment to take massive action. Instead, do something small toward your goal today, then again tomorrow, and the day after. These small actions might seem insignificant in isolation, but they create something powerful. Patterns of success. Think of momentum as compound interest for your achievements. Just as money grows upon itself, when invested wisely, your progress accelerates when you consistently move toward your goals. Each small win creates confidence. Confidence creates energy. Energy fuels greater action. Before long, you're accomplishing things that once seemed impossible. Momentum works both ways. It's just as easy to build negative momentum through procrastination and excuses. Each time you delay taking action, you make it harder to start tomorrow. Each excuse strengthens the habit of inaction. Guard against this with vigilance. One technique I found particularly effective is what I call the 5-minute rule. When you don't feel motivated to work toward your goal, commit to just 5 minutes of effort. Anyone can do almost anything for 5 minutes. What you'll discover is fascinating. Once you're in motion, you'll likely continue far beyond those initial 5 minutes. The hardest part was simply starting. Momentum also requires attention to your environment. Surround yourself with forward, moving people who encourage progress. Eliminate distractions that drain your energy. Arrange your physical space to make goal. Directed action the path of least resistance. The goal. Achiever understands that success is rarely about dramatic, single moments of inspiration. Rather, it's the result of consistent, purposeful motion in a clear direction. Like the mighty river that carves through mountains not through force, but through persistent flow. You too can accomplish remarkable things through the steady application of effort. Build momentum today with just one small action toward your goal. Tomorrow, do it again. Soon enough, you'll find yourself carried forward by a force greater than willpower alone, the magnificent power of momentum. Lesson 11. The courage to begin. The greatest secret to success in life is simply having the courage to begin. It's remarkable how many dreams remain, just that, dreams, because someone lacked the courage to take that first step. The simple act of beginning separates the achievers from the dreamers. I've observed thousands of successful men and women throughout my years, and I can tell you with absolute certainty that they all share one common trait. They started. While others stood on the sidelines making plans, excuses, or waiting for perfect conditions, these achievers jumped in and got their feet wet. Remember this truth. No one ever climbed a mountain by staring at it. The climber must put one foot in front of the other, often not seeing the summit for much of the journey. But each step, however small, brings them closer to their goal. Think about learning to ride a bicycle. You don't learn by reading books about bicycles or watching others ride. You learn by getting on the bicycle, falling a few times, and then suddenly, almost magically, finding your balance. The same principle applies to any goal worth achieving. Fear is what keeps most people from beginning. Fear of failure. Fear of looking foolish. Fear of looking foolish. Fear of the unknown. But successful people feel these same fears. They simply refuse to be controlled by them. They understand that courage isn't the absence of fear. It's acting despite it. Consider this. Many people spend more time planning a 2-week vacation than they do planning their lives. They research destinations, compare hotels, and map out daily activities, yet these same people drift through life without a clear plan for where they're heading. The moment you begin moving toward your goals, amazing things happen. Resources appear that weren't visible before. People come into your life who can help you. Opportunities emerge that were previously hidden. It's as if the universe responds to your movement with support. I've often said that success is the progressive realization of a worthy goal. Note the word progressive. It implies movement, action, and beginning. No one achieves their goals overnight, but everyone who achieves them starts somewhere. Begin where you are, with what you have. Don't wait for better circumstances or more information. Perfect conditions rarely exist. The conditions become better once you commit to the journey and begin moving forward. Remember the story of the man who wanted to move a mountain? He began by carrying away small stones. While others laughed, he continued his work day after day. Eventually, the mountain was gone. Not by some dramatic explosion, but by persistent daily effort that began with a single stone. Your goals deserve this same approach. Begin today with whatever small step you can take. Write the first paragraph of your book. Save your first dollar toward financial freedom. Take a walk around the block to start your fitness journey. The size of the step doesn't matter, only that you take it. The courage to begin separates dreamers from achievers. Which will you be? The answer lies not in what you say, but in what you do today. Lesson 12, The Road Taken. We've reached the end of our journey together, but for you, this is just the beginning. The most important step you'll ever take is the one that follows the completion of this book, the step that leads you from knowledge to action. Throughout these pages, we've discovered that people with goals succeed because they know where they're going. This truth is as certain as the sunrise. Life, you see, is much like a vast, open field with countless paths, stretching in all directions. The person without goals wanders aimlessly, taking a few steps one way, then changing direction, never making real progress. But the person with clear, written goals moves with purpose along a chosen path, each step bringing closer to their destination. I want you to picture two people who begin at the exact same spot in life. Both have similar talents, similar opportunities, similar potential. After 5 years, one has accomplished remarkable things while the other seems to have merely existed. What made the difference? Goals. Nothing more, nothing less. Goals transform ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. They convert dreams into reality. They turn wishes into accomplishments. The miracle of goal setting is available to everyone, yet so few take advantage of it. It costs nothing to set goals, but the rewards are priceless. Remember what we learned about the ship at sea? Without coordinates programmed into its navigation system, it would drift with the currents at the mercy of the winds. Your goals are your coordinates in life. They tell your mind exactly where to go. The world makes way for the person who knows where they're going. Problems that stop others become mere stepping stones for the goal. Setter, obstacles that discourage the aimless become challenges that strengthen the determined, Setbacks that defeat the drifter become valuable lessons for the achiever. You now possess the most powerful success system ever discovered, the ability to choose your destination and program your mind to take you there. You understand that success is not an accident. It's the natural outcome of consistently applying these principles day after day. The choice is now yours. Will you continue as before, hoping that somehow, someday, things will get better? Or will you take your place among those special people who decide exactly what they want and go after it with unwavering determination? The difference between wishful thinking and goal achievement is simple. Commitment put into writing, backed by persistent action. This is the road less traveled, but it makes all the difference. Your future is created by what you do today, not tomorrow. Begin now. Set your goals. Write them down. Review them daily. Take action. The wonderful life you desire is waiting for you just beyond the horizon of your current thinking. This is Earl Nightingale reminding you that people with goals succeed because they know where they're going. Now, you know too. The rest is up to you.